Boker Tov, Shavua Tov. We are continuing where we left off in Halachot Shabbat from the book Melechet Shabbat. We're on in Keli Rishon, Halacha Memhe, on page Kaf Zayin if you want to follow along. Okay. We spoke about last time about pouring cold water. We defined Keli Rishon. We introduced a few halachot about Keli Rishon. Today we'll speak about. What is it? We spoke about the 10 Maim Tzonim, the Keli Rishon Maleh. Yeah, we spoke about that. Good. Irui Maim Rotchim Latavshil Hanimtza BeKeli Rishon. Very, very applicable question. You guys were asking about this. Meaning, let's say I have a pot of cholent, I have a pot of choresh, I have a pot of whatever that's very dry. Can I pour hot water from the Keli Rishon into that pot? That's the discussion. That's a very big, big machloket.
This is majority solid food. No,
we'll talk about it. We'll get there. Asur la'arot ma'im rotchim letoch Keli Rishon shehusar min ha'esh. So the halakha begins by saying it's forbidden to pour hot water into a Keli Rishon that was taken off the fire. Ma'im rotchim is boiling water. Veyesh bo tavshil roteach shenitztamek. That has this again. What's the scenario? A Keli Rishon that was taken off the fire that has a boiling hot water, a boiling hot dish in it, shenitztamek, meaning it got small. It got small, like mitztamek veralo. Mitztamek literally means it got dry. It got dry and it got smaller. Yani, okay? Mishum shebeirui hamayim posek koach habishul mehem. Share'en irui mevashel ela kedei kelipa, v'keshechozrim lekli rishon harehem mitbashelim. Wow, packed, very loaded at Saif. So he says you're not allowed to pour boiling hot water into a Keli Rishon that's taken off the fire when the food is dried up. Why? Not because I'm cooking the food that's in the pot. What's the problem? Irui mevashel kedei kelipa. The fact that I poured hot water into the pot from the urn, it will cook the food kedei kelipa, which is okay. But when I put it back onto the fire, ukshechozrim lekli rishon harehem mitbashelim. Sorry, not even that. From the urn into the pot, what happens? Urn is Keli Rishon, pot is Keli Rishon. What about the stream of water in the middle?
Is that Irui?
It's half a step lower. Okay? Think about derivatives. How do you get half a derivative? I don't know. That's not a thing, right? Not a thing. Partial. It is a thing? Well, I've never learned about that. What? That's like multivariable calculus? I never got into that one. I have max at BC. But a partial derivative. Yeah, of course I'm BC. What, I'm an idiot. Partial derivative is a concept in halakha. We're introducing that now. Why? How does that help? Because the urn is a Keli Rishon and the pot is a Keli Rishon. But the stream of water between the urn into the pot, that's irui mevashel kedei kelipa. That's half a degree lower. So it goes from Keli Rishon to 1.5 back to 1. And for that reason, the Achronim are forbidding because now that it goes back to Keli Rishon, it's mevashel again, and you bumped up half a degree, which is a problem.
Back to Keli Rishon.
The urn is a Keli Rishon.
Yeah.
The pot's a Keli Rishon. Yeah. The stream of water in between the urn into the pot is half a derivative less.
So what's the concept that we're avoiding?
We're avoiding Bishul.
Of what?
Of the stream of water. The water that it cooled off as it hit the air, and it heats up as it hits the water. Yeah.
That split second is happening.
Yeah.
As if it cooled off.
That's the stream is the half derivative. Yeah.
It's not staying at Yad Tzedakah?
Huh?
The water's not staying.
Very good. So that's why I want to read the footnote. See how long this footnote is?
Also, if we're holding that we're saying
there's a famous Rashba thing. We're going to see the Rashba.
We're going to say that's definitely the pouring, the action of it being in the air is definitely the thing that's cooling it. Then,
of course. Yeah. Everyone agrees that according to this shita, the exposure to air is what cools it down. While I start reading the footnote, can you bring the Mishnah Berurah, Siman Reish Nun Gimel? What? Reish Nun Gimel, not Shin Nun Chet. Reish Nun Gimel.
Why is the pot called the Keli Rishon?
Because it was just taken off the fire. I misspoke in the beginning. Again. Asur la'arot mayim rotchim letoch Keli Rishon. It's forbidden to pour boiling hot water into a Keli Rishon that was removed from the fire that had dry food in it. Why? Because when you pour the water, it no longer can cook. Yani it's half a degree lower than a Keli Rishon. Okay? And because any Iru can only cook the shell worth, kedei kelipa. And once it goes back into the Keli Rishon, it recooks. Okay?
It's off the fire.
But it's still a Keli
It doesn't
Rishon.
matter that it's off the fire.
Because, good question. I don't know. We'll see the footnotes. It might not matter. Okay, good. So Reish Nun Gimel. Good. We'll have this open
Does it
here.
say even off the fire?
We'll get there momentarily. Maybe it's a good question. Reish Nun Gimel, Saif Dalet. Okay. I'm going to read the Shulchan Aruch inside first because this is very important. This is not in Shinuches and Reish Nun Gimel. It's in the halachot that pertain to Kira and Tanur and different very complicated halachot. But there are important halachot that come up there also.
This is about like cooking and stuff?
Yeah, also about cooking. It's just hard because they had different cooking devices that were hard to think. This is the beautiful language. Shulchan Aruch writes, Yesh lemachot beyad hanoagim le'atmin on yom kum shel mayim chamin v'notnim otam letoch hakedera b'shabbat keshatavshil mitztamek. So his language is very unique. He says, it's good to protest. Yesh lemachot, yesh limchot. He never says when something is asur, yesh limchot. He says asur la'asot. Ein osim. Yesh limchot. So off the bat, you see that there's a huge machoket rishonim here.
It's like a hedge. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a partial. It's not like cooking, but you should protest those who have the minhag to le'atmin, is to boil water during the day. Bekum shel mayim, in an urn of water. Mechamin v'notnin otam, and they then pour the water into the pot on Shabbat when the dish becomes dry. Okay, so I want to read.
He's talking about a Keli Rishon?
Something like this.
You're talking about exactly this scenario. Exactly this scenario. Okay, so why? What was the problem? So we'll see. The Bet Yosef writes in the name of Rabbeinu Yonah, the pe'amim shamayim enam chamim kol kach shaya tzoler bahem. So the Rabbeinu Yonah gives one reason that maybe the water isn't hot enough. Right? It comes from the Keli Rishon. It's a tough to say because it's coming from the Keli Rishon. That's why I don't get it so much. But I'm reading what he says. That maybe it's not actually boiling, and once it enters the Keli Rishon, whether it got cooled off in the air or it wasn't initially boiling, it gets cooled off, it's going to reboil when it gets into the water. That's option number one.
And that's also only cooking raw water, which is in itself not cooking.
No, everyone agrees you can't cook water.
And then we said,
Boiling water is asur.
remember we said it, some people say water is fine.
No, water is not fine.
This is already boiled.
That was reheating water. Because it's mitzamek ve'yafiralo.
Was
Water,
reheating.
clean water that was already
That
boiled.
was already cooked, yeah.
Reheating cold water.
Good. I don't know why they don't say that here. You're right. It's a good point. Because that whole mitzamek ve'yafiralo is a big. It's for the Ramah. It's a big cool. I don't know. It's a good point. It's a good point. I don't know. But he continues. Like your scenario, even if the water initially was boiling and it's yatzoler bo, it's boiling in the urn. It's boiling in the pot, but when I pour it from the urn into the pot, it can no longer cook. It might still be hot, but pasak koach retichatan. You literally broke its strength of boiling, and what? Vechozrim u'ipashlim betavshil, and it will reheat when it gets into the dish. Good adkan. That's Rabbeinu Yonah. V'atam hasheni mivuar yoter b'dvei aran. The Ran gives another reason. This is his reason. Keshemerin hamayim le'altar shiatzu min hakli. Afa pishen rotchim pasak koach v'tichatan milevashel kedin kli sheni she'eno mevashel. So the Ran explains further that what happens after when you're pouring water, as soon as water leaves the Keli Rishon, again, As soon as I pour water out of the Keli Rishon, it no longer has the strength to cook, or it's no longer considered boiling, and therefore it's considered like a Keli Sheni she'eno mevashel. According to the Ran, it's a full derivative.
The water itself.
Yeah, it's not a partial derivative. According to the Ran, it's not 1.5, it's fully 2. It's not mevashel kedei kelipa, it's Keli Sheni. Once it leaves the initial heat source.
So wait, so how can you make an Irui Keli Rishon according to the Ran?
What?
So what's an example of an Irui Keli Rishon according to the Ran?
Ron holds that.
He holds this.
Is that a mutar?
The Ran never holds Irui Keli Rishon will be mutar.
Why is there even an example?
No, first of all, it works both ways. The Ran would say Irui Keli Rishon is considered Keli Sheni.
So I think he doesn't have an Irui Keli Rishon.
Correct. His concept doesn't exist. His definition, according to this understanding, is there's no Irui Keli Rishon. As soon as it leaves the walls of the Keli Rishon, it's considered a Keli Sheni. The Irui Keli Rishon b'vashal kedei kelipa, the Irui b'vashal kedei kelipa, the Ran doesn't subscribe to that opinion. It's an opinion unique to that in the Tosfot that we saw on Melechet Shabbat in Shabbat.
He doesn't care about the
whatever.
walls at all, seemingly.
What?
So he seemingly doesn't care about the walls at all.
What does it mean, walls?
The walls of the Keli Sheni. He said it doesn't matter that it's put down at all.
Once, correct. Once it leaves the Keli Rishon, it's Keli Sheni. That's how Ran explains it.
So you can pour it on a raw food. On a good reheated cooked food. Generally.
But they ask on the Ran himself asks on this logic, what about the Gemara that we had that anything that was preheated was Kol Shabbat Bechamin B'Shabbat, Erev Shabbat, Shorin Oto B'Shabbat. We saw it in Mishnah, and anything that was heated from before Shabbat can be heated on Shabbat. And the Ran says you're right, Tzarich Iyun. So even the Ran's explanation that once it leaves the Keli Rishon, he leaves the Tzarich Iyun. It's not foolproof. Okay?
Isn't there a riot to the Ron in that Gemara?
No, it's not. It's the opposite. V'sover Ran kedat harashba demutar la'arot mayim letoch hakedera. Based on this, the Ran says it's permitted to pour boiling hot water into the pot. Yeah, the Ran agrees to the Rashba, and even the Rambam, that you're allowed to pour boiling hot water into a pot. But why? Because maybe they go that ain't Bishul with Davar Lach. So there's two things we're juggling right now. We're juggling, is there cooking after something was boiled or not? So the Ran and the Rashba and the Rambam, maybe they subscribe to the opinion that there's ain't Bishul with Davar Lach. So that's why they permit pouring directly from the urn. This opinion that the Rambam, that the Shulchan Aruch brought, is the opinion of the Rashba. It's a famous minhag that it's attributed to the Rashba. We'll see in the Mishnah Berurah.
He's holding it in the Rashba here?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, you should protest?
No, he doesn't. The Rashba was the opposite.
Rashba holds
You could pour. Lach, correct. The Rambam just posek, you can't.
So it can't be.
So again, so that's that. Beit Yosef katav the Mari Abu Av Tiretz Kushat Ran. So they bring answers to the question of the Ran. Hu devar yavesh, avad devar lach, kimomayim, im pasak v'tichatan yesh b'hem mishum bishul. So the whole proof from the Mishnah that if it was pre-cooked, it was boiled on Erev Shabbat, you could boil it again on Shabbat. That only applies to dry but not liquids, and they try to bring many explanations for this. Ume'atam ma'achashe v'shebruchan ruchsatam kedever Rabbeinu Yonah Yonah Sferle de'af she'amayim rotchim ein la'rotam l'Keli Rishon. And now he concludes and brings Rav Ovadia. Chazon Ovadia Shabbat Chelek Aleph and Ofeh Mashul or Letzion Chelek Perek Yud Zayin Teshuvah Chet. That what? Because Maran was posek like Rabbeinu Yonah, that what? You can't pour hot water into a Keli Rishon on Shabbat. He seems that even when the water is boiling, you can't pour it into a Keli Rishon. Again, it's a chumrah of the Shulchan Aruch that, according to logic, shouldn't apply. But Rav Ovadia brings it, Rabbi Mashul brings it. And the Egletal says when the water is still Yatzolere bo, Maran would permit pouring from the Keli Rishon. Rav Ovadia and Rabbi Mashul say no. Even if it's Keli Rishon, according to Maran, because it goes like Rabbeinu Yonah, you can't pour a Keli Rishon into a Keli Rishon. Okay? Okay, very good, very good. It brings many more reasons.
What would be the asur? We're talking about reheating.
What's the bottom line asur,
right?
What?
We're talking about reheating davar yamesh.
Yes. Not reheating. It dried. I have chuling that's dry. I have choresh that's dry.
Because that's
Yeah.
has the status of cooking.
It's still boiling hot. The Keli Rishon is hot. I have a pot on the plata that's boiling hot, that's dry. Can I add water to it on Shabbat?
What would you be cooking?
Yeah.
The water?
The water, yeah. The issue here is cooking the water.
And it's either comes down to reheating something that's already boiled, or
That's it.
or just cooking water.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know that.
It's
Just
just
cooking
that.
something that's already boiled, meaning in the Keli Rishon.
Yeah. No. You're cooking the water.
So they're saying it's not allowed.
It doesn't.
The water that was already cooked, but now
Yeah.
cooled off a little bit.
It cooled off in the air. It's very difficult because it really goes against all the principles we've been learning until now. Because it's still boiling, it's still hot. For some reason, Maran was pasek that it's not allowed. So he brings in the bottom, which is very important. Lachen, im hu ro'eh she'akediach she'akediach tavshilo. If you see that your dish is dry or cold, yachol לעשות אחד משלושת המכונים. You have three options. לתת חתיכת פח תחת הקדרה באופן שימעט את המשך הצמיקות המאכל. Number one is put a second piece of metal under your pot on the plata so it slows down the drying process of the food. Nothing to do with adding water. Okay? External force. Two, לתת, this is the famous Rav Ovadia. לתת מבעוד יום sakit מים בתוך הקדרה. Before Shabbat started, put a bag of boiling hot, a bag of water in the pot. What does this do? וכשהוא רואה בשבת שתבשיל מצטמק ורע לו, when you see on Shabbat that the dish is getting dry and worse, מצטמק ורע לו, רשאי לנקב את השקית והתערבו המים בתבשיל. I can poke a hole in that pot, that plastic bag of water that's in the pot, and it'll water the dish. Why?
It's already hot and you're not.
דחי גבנה שהמים נמצאים כבר בתוך הכלי ראשון, לקלמך השמידי. The water is already in the Keli Rishon. It's already considered Keli Rishon, and it's already boiled. There's no concern whatsoever.
You didn't poke a bag in
What type of bag are we talking about?
like a plastic bag in your thing.
Not a plastic Ziploc bag.
No concern with
A cooking bag.
Cooking bag.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand. Not a plastic bag like that. There are.
There's like children.
Yeah, what's it? You know what I'm talking about, right?
The pot. You don't see on the pot prevents it.
Wait, I still don't get the logic behind you can't put the Keli Rishon water into the thing. It's only cooling down from it.
No, I have an urn. I have a pot that's a Keli Rishon that's boiling hot.
Yeah?
Can I pour water from the urn into the pot that's boiling hot?
If we're saying the water is a
But
problem,
the water cools. That's the whole kiddush. I agree with you. There's no reason why Maran is not logically, but he is. The water's already cooked.
Sense,
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Because he holds like the Rabbeinu Tam, שאין מישהו אחר בישול דבר לך. שיש מישהו אחר בישול דבר לך. That's why. But it doesn't make sense. I agree with you. And number three,
the Rambam is more metal here because he holds there isn't Bishul.
what? The Rambam would be safe mutar legamre.
Yeah, because
It's already cooked boiling hot water that's still hot. Put into mutar legamre. Okay? And now number three. לקחת בשבת מצקת ריקנית ויכניסנה לתוך כלי הראשון שיש בו מים חמים עד שהמצקת עצמה מתחמם ויעלו בה רתיחות ואז רשאי להוציאה ולשעוקה בתוך קדרת החמים בחי גבנה בחי גבנה נהפכה מצקת לכלי ראשון. A third suggestion that's brilliant is take a ladle. Okay? Take a ladle and submerge it in an urn, in a boiling pot of water. How long? Until the ladle becomes boiling hot. A minute, 2 minutes maybe, whatever it is. Ladle is how you serve soup. A ladle. A circle, Google it, a ladle. Okay? Once the ladle is now Keli Rishon and boiling hot, I can take from the ladle and then put it into the Keli Rishon that's on the fire. Why? Because there's no iruing at this point.
The air.
It's not touching the air. It's in the Keli Rishon. The iruing, dip it all the way. You gotta submerge it fully. Yeah. Submerge it fully underwater.
Isn't like the top exposed?
But so is a pot. When I take off the lid, doesn't matter that it's exposed. It matters that when you pour it, the air makes it cold. So this is option number 3.
You're taking the ladle.
I'm taking the ladle, I'm putting it into the urn. The ladle's gonna boil.
Leave it there.
Leave it there for a minute or two until it boils and the water makes the ladle boiling hot. Then I take the ladle out with the boiling hot water and I put the ladle into the Keli Rishon and submerge it fully. That way there was no iruing.
It has like walls and stuff.
Yeah, it's like it has.
I'm saying when you take it out and put it in the new pot, the air isn't cooling then?
but it doesn't get exposed to air. It's the top only. I'm not pouring it.
It
gets
leave it out long enough, it'll get cool.
Do it right away. Exactly. Enachinami, do it right away. Okay? And in that scenario, it's mutar
The wall's
because
insulated.
the ladle is a Keli Rishon and you submerge it fully in the Keli Rishon that's on with the food. Therefore, that's how you can add water to your drying food on Shabbat with no
There's
problem.
no issue to turn the ladle into Keli Rishon.
No problem. So 3 options. One was diminish the cooking process of the Keli Rishon. Good. 2 was the plastic bag. Good. 3 was use a ladle that becomes a Keli Rishon and then submerge it into the Keli Rishon. These are the 3 options. Now to conclude, Rav Ovadia, Nichavedat, Chalek Dalet, Siman Kaf Bet, talks about this whole thing, and he concludes that Bediavad, if someone accidentally messes up and takes the urn into the Keli Rishon, mutar, not mutar, but it's still kosher. You can eat the food. It's not asur. Why? At the end of the day, because of the Rambam, because of the Rishonim that say it was already cooked, it was still hot, and it's
The
mutar.
language of
What about
Yeah, and from the language of Mana that veyesh limchot, you should protest. Like even that is already a step below. So lechatchila, one of the 3 routes we proposed. Bediavad, if your mom, if someone did it accidentally, you don't protest. I mean, Aruch said to protest, but I don't know. You don't have to yell. You don't have to cause a problem. You don't have to fight. It's still, it's mutar bediavad.
If someone puts the ladle and as they're doing it, they accidentally spill some of it, and then
Mutar.
I'm sure this is a different sugya, but let's say you put it now into klisheni.
Well, let me finish.
So it's